Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Perseverance Mindset. I am your host, John Zedzura. My professional experience in building and maintaining business relationships at both corporate and customer-facing roles has been a large part of my career for many, many years. I started this podcast to engage in real, everyday conversations about various topics of all kinds. During the last number of years, we are losing much of that conversational piece among our younger generations. This podcast aims to help educate professionals of all backgrounds, both young and old, to help grow their skill sets by introducing them to the perseverance mindset. The perseverance mindset is a set of core values that determines your ability to harness your work ethic, your dedication, and your consistency. Because as we all know, there is no cheat code for success in this life. I'm so glad that you're joining tonight's discussion concerning cybersecurity. We have so much information to unpack, so sit back, grab that cup of coffee, and enjoy the ride on the information superhighway. Today, I am pleased to welcome onto our show an esteemed cybersecurity leader to help guide you through the wild words of passwords, firewalls, all those pesky malware attempts. He's both a gentleman and a scholar, my good friend, Michael Pilch.
Hi, John. Thank you for having me on. We have a lot to unpack tonight. Are you sitting down or are you at a sit-stand desk?
I'm sitting down. I left the sit-stand desk at work. So the sit-stand desk, they appreciate it if the sit-stand stays at work, just for various reasons, I could get out the wicker chair. This chair is much more comfortable. It can break in half the moment I sit on it. I can spill this coffee all over the place. We'd have to cancel the show. Nobody would stay watching. So it's just not a good idea all around. And if this was 19, 20 years ago, we'd still be waiting for America Online to load up. We wouldn't even be on this. Isn't that amazing what technology can do? But many don't know, right, Mike? Many are not
even... the good old days.
So Mike, dial up, AOL, America Online, the CD-ROM on the cereal box. That's how I got mine, if you can even believe that. So Michael, tell me and all of our great listeners out there a little bit about yourself, your journey, and some of the things you're going to be talking about today.
Well, John, I work in cybersecurity where I plan, coordinate, and lead the cybersecurity program. In addition to cybersecurity, I've worked with cloud workloads, virtualization, systems engineering, network administration. My master's degree is from UMass Lowell, the Lowell campus, in IT, and I am a certified information systems security professional, commonly known as the CISSP.
CISSP. It's probably going to take me about a week to get that down past CISSP. I'll give it about a month. I'll have that down. I promise, Mike. I'll have that down. Mike, it sounds like you've worked really hard to get into your industry and acquire those skills, the accommodations, the accomplishments. Now, what is your advice through achieving success, as we are on the Perseverance Mindset podcast, and understanding all the effort that goes into it? A lot of people, they see the end of the journey. They see the success. They see the job they want. They see everything coming to them. But we all know, Mike, it's not that simple. There are a lot of late nights, and there is a lot of work that goes into it on the back end. Tell us a little bit more about your journey.
Thank you for that question. First of all, you have to really enjoy what you're doing. And no matter what you do, there's no way around hard work if you want to be successful.
No.
I'm passionate about cybersecurity, and I enjoy it. I'm also a very active person. Think full-time job, family responsibilities. My son is in scouting, martial arts, plays the guitar, and I'm always running him somewhere. I also volunteer for my son's scout troop as one of the adult leaders. Very enjoyable activities I enjoy volunteering for. Enjoy watching him grow and develop along with the other kids. I'm also into fitness, weightlifting, cycling, for example. When I was working towards my master's degree, I would wake up at 5 a.m. every day, study for about 2 hours, get ready, go to work a full-time job. At night when I would come home, I would be running my son around to his activities, other family responsibilities. And then later in the evening, I would try and get another hour of studying in. Then on weekends, same thing. Would try and get a few hours in, 2, 3 hours every Saturday, Sunday. And Sean, there were plenty of times I was tired, did not want to wake up, did not want to do it, said, I'll skip today, I'll do it tomorrow. But I got up, did it anyway, and worked through it. And I pretty much used those same techniques to prepare for the CISSP exam.
Boy, that is a lot to unpack. A dedicated father, a family man, and still making time to better the life of him and his family. So hats off to you, Michael. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. And, you know, the biggest question on everyone's mind, I'll take it back to where you said that there are days you just didn't want to do it. Now, if we only went by things we did want to do in life, I'm not sure what we would be doing and where that would take us, to be honest. Like,
That's true.
Even with myself on the perseverance mindset, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work to go about, to work your job, to come home, have family responsibilities, to do all those things. So it's not easy, and no one ever said it was. So those that acknowledge that and take the challenge, they have my utmost respect, and they have my utmost gratitude for being an outstanding person and trying to better themselves. So, Mike, can we get to the biggest question on everyone's mind?
Sure.
I just got a notification on my computer. My password is locked, and could you just help me reset it? That's the whole meaning behind this meeting today. I hate to
Sure. Let me open my AI application and we'll take care of it for you.
We'll take care of it. AI is AI. What's it stand for again? It was
artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. That's right. We can call him our cousin Artie. Our cousin Artie. Artie artificial intelligence. If that makes sense. Great stuff. So let's just start with the basics out there. Cybersecurity. Michael, since 2004, the President of the United States and Congress have declared the month of October to be Cybersecurity Awareness Month, a dedicated month for both public and private sectors to work together to help raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity. Michael, what is cybersecurity? Who does it affect? Why is it important to both individuals and businesses, both large and small?
Cybersecurity is preventing, detecting, and responding to any kind of cyber attack against networks, systems, websites, or data. It's important because the cyber attack could destroy businesses, ruin lives. It could be a matter of life and death or national security. It could also lead to large fines and lawsuits. John, imagine this. A person needs a medical care, and the closest hospital cannot accept them because their systems are down because of a cyber attack.
Now you're saying this. These are instances that aren't just in the future. These are things currently happening at the moment, and there are articles out there being reported that people have not been able to get medical care because of systems being down because they've been hacked or cyber attacked.
Yes. Imagine another scenario. There's an emergency, and you call 911, and nobody answers because they are down because of a cyber attack. Earlier this year, Bucks County 911 suffered a cyber attack. They're back up and running now, but they were also impacted earlier in the year.
I'm sure it makes everybody worry and concerned when you just hear that it's down. Not only that it's back up and running, but what happens during the time when it is down. You have no idea what could be happening or what lives could be either saved or lost during that time when someone isn't able to be connected because of an attack, cybersecurity. It seems like there's always new stories of ransomware attacks and services going down. Do you have any examples of businesses who went out of business after a cyber attack from being the victim of one?
Yes. Lincoln College went out of business after a ransomware attack. They had difficulties responding and recovering from it. And they were an institution that has been around for over 150 years. Wow. SMH Healthcare. They were the first healthcare facility that linked their closing to a ransomware attack. 60% of small businesses closed within 6 months of a cyber attack. Some scary statistics.
60%. So you're saying if you are the victim of one of these cyber attacks, over half, 60%, businesses close within 6 months. It's not even another year.
Yes, small, medium businesses.
Small, mid-sized, medium business. Okay. So not even another year after the attack, your doors are shut. Go home. There's nothing else here. Insane. It's just insane. So now let me ask you this, Michael. How much does a cybercrime cost? Because it's obvious that these folks, these bad actors out there, aren't doing this for $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. Now, how much does a cybercrime typically cost the victim?
Well, the cybercrime total worldwide in 2023 was $8 trillion. It is estimated to be over $10 trillion in 2025, which makes it the most profitable illegal operation, surpassing the worldwide drug trade.
And for all of our listeners out there, that's eight, the figure eight, TRILLION dollars, $8 trillion, surpassing worldwide illegal drug trade. That just boggles the mind. It just, you can't begin to comprehend these numbers. And I'm assuming with the rise of AI and more cyber attacks to come, these attacks are only going to increase and they're only going to become more frequent. Would you agree, Mike?
John, absolutely. In 2024, the average cost of a data breach was $4.88 million, according to an IBM report. In 2023, security breaches saw a 72% increase from 2021, according to a Forbes report. The Federal Trade Commission received more than 1.1 million reports of identity theft in 2022, according to U.S. News. Now, if you think you're a victim of a cybercrime and that the criminal is going to be charged, unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen. According to the World Economic Forum, the likelihood that a cybercrime entity is detected and prosecuted is estimated at around 0.05%.
So in other words, it's very, very high that they're going to get caught. They've gone in there, they've done their dirty deeds. They've almost robbed someone of their life. They've hurt them, and there's a virtually no chance that they're going to get prosecuted.
Very limited chance that they'll be found out, who they are, caught. Let me give you some numbers, local numbers from Scranton, Pennsylvania, that's been in the news recently.
Please do.
The Times Tribune recently reported that a cyber attack in the spring of 2024 against the Scranton School District, the school district ended up paying out $80,000 because of that cyber attack. Now, part of it was paying a ransom, and part of it was for their incident response, such as forensics investigation.
Now hold on for 1 second. So you're saying, in addition to the Scranton School District being hacked in a cyber crime, it cost the district $80,000, and not only, again, included in the cost, probably split down the middle if you itemize it. So you're saying the cost of the hack itself, the damage that was done, and then trying to figure out what happened, who did what, and how this occurred. So that's
Correct.
all part of the.
That included the ransom, the forensics investigation, incident response. Because normally when you experience a cyber attack at that magnitude, you're going to bring in outside professionals that's going to work to negotiate with the attackers, as well as forensic investigation.
Now, just kind of a little something we discussed earlier, kind of off topic, but now for smaller businesses, right? For smaller businesses, there are some folks that might say, like, well, I don't really have to worry about that. Like, they're not coming to chase me. And you would say, Michael, that isn't true. That is 100% not true.
You are seen as an easy target. Generally, most small businesses don't have the resources, security budget, people, and there's the perceived lack of security controls. You're seen as an easy target, and yes, they will attack you.
And now I know we were talking about school districts, and what are some other examples of other places that have recently had cyber attacks and were the victim of them?
Another one in the Scranton area, Lehigh Valley Health Networks, recently settled a class action lawsuit for $65 million. They were the victims of a ransomware attack. They decided not to pay the ransom, and the hackers released patients' private data onto the dark web. Now, what was disturbing about this one attack? One of the victims was a cancer patient, and they posted their pictures from their treatment.
I just get enraged when I hear things like that. My dad is a cancer survivor, and I couldn't imagine the disgust I would have if that had been a member of my family. And it's troubling. It's despicable, abhorrent, and anybody to take advantage of vulnerable folks like that, especially elderly adults, typically, or anyone, is just truly despicable. Now, because for me, I'm just in the old school mindset. When I think a hacker, I think of Joey, the computer nerd in his mom's basement, like the mom screaming on the stairs, like knocking it with the broom, Joey, supper's ready, and someone typing away on their computer. Are they literally making this much money? We're throwing around these huge, gigantic numbers that they're unthinkable. Like, so they are making money doing this, or else they wouldn't be doing it. Would you agree?
That is correct, John. And hackers are nation states, state-sponsored, organized crime, hacktivists. Think of those who hack over causes or an ideology. The person sitting in their mom's basement is probably considered a script kiddie, someone with some knowledge, but does stuff they find on the internet and attack other places. Cybercrime is a business. You have ransomware as a service, initial access brokers. These hackers are monsters, and they're very good at social engineering and taking advantage of vulnerabilities. Their abilities are only going to grow with AI or artificial intelligence.
We've definitely discussed that these abilities are only going to grow because as AI becomes more predominant within the workplace, within just your personal life, it is advancing every day. There's Alexa, there's many things out there that is just using these untapped potential to for any industry, both personal and professional. Now, you mentioned cybersecurity in addition to could hurt you personally, it could hurt your business. You mentioned it's also a matter of national security. Well, we definitely have quite a few things going on today that would align right in with this topic. Do you have any examples of cybersecurity or any of those tactics being used in global conflicts, wars, things of that nature? Elaborate for us.
Yes. Let's talk about the last few years in the Russian and Ukraine conflict. Russia completed successful cyber attacks against Ukrainian power companies where they took out their power grid. Imagine what kind of competitive advantage that will give you in a military conflict.
Huge advantage.
In retaliation, Ukraine has had some successful counterinsurgencies and attacks on Russian soldiers and Russian bases. Now, how did they find out their locations? They didn't use sophisticated satellite technology, the eye in the sky, all sync. They used regular social engineering, John. They created fake social media profiles with pictures of attracted females, befriended Russian soldiers on social media platforms, and got them to divulge their location, and they bombed them. and it was very successful.
It was very successful. And when you think of that, you hear like national security used in global conflicts. You would think like the most simplest things would be ruled out because people would not fall victim and prey to those things. But actually, it's probably those things that are the least kind of talked about because the simplest things work in the most complex scenarios. Would you agree?
I would agree. And let me give you another example. When Gaza first attacked Israel, Cloudflare, they're a cybersecurity company. They detected and prevented DDoS attacks that was targeting Israeli websites that provide critical information and alerts to civilians on rocket attacks. Now, DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service, where the attacker will send significant amounts of traffic to a website with the goal of impacting its availability, causing it to not respond or do what it's supposed to.
Now, when you hear about this, it's a matter of national security, affects people personally, professionally, could tank your business. Now, I'm going to ask like what our listeners would definitely really want to know, because to understand something, you have to get into the mind of a hacker itself, that person, he or she. Now, if you were a hacker, and I'm talking one of these top of the line hackers, one of these ones that people aspire to get to work for the Fortune 500 companies, like you can do anything. Now, if you were going to hack a business, how would you go about doing it, and how can companies protect themselves from the very sophisticated professional hackers?
John, there are common steps, tactics, and techniques to carrying out a cyber attack. The quickest, easiest, and most common way to hack a business is to go after the people, their employees.
Geez, to go after the people, like just to go after the people themselves, to get inside the business. Actually, you know, it almost makes me not want to do this, but unfortunately, Mike, that wraps up our show for today. So, if you'd like to learn more about how hackers will attack your business and how to protect yourself, tune in next week for episode 2 of our 4-part mini-series. And don't forget to follow the Perseverance Mindset podcast on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. Michael, thank you so much for arming us with this knowledge today. There's people that are going to benefit greatly from this information.
Thank you, John, for having me.
Thank you to all the listeners out there, and good night.